Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. It's been a few days since I've done this. This is a day of triathlon training. I have been training, but I just haven't vlogged the last few days. I've been putting out quite a lot of bike related content on the channel, so thank you very much for engaging with that. I've had a few days off, just getting the training done, focus on my goals and not having to worry about picking a camera up and talking about it. However, back on it now, and I'm going to continue to document this journey, what is happening in this journey. Bit of catching up to do. So last week was good, or okay. Weekend, bad. Didn't train very much, didn't eat very well, just didn't quite, I don't know, just didn't quite have it. That's not good enough, but that's just the reality. I was supposed to go to a cross country on Sunday, and I got up Sunday morning after having been to the club presentation night the night before, and I hadn't even had a load to drink. I think I had 2 or 3 shandies, but I just felt tired and I didn't want it. I didn't want to put myself through major pain, which is what cross countries are. So I just did a 45-minute steady run from home, as per normal, and that was it. But I felt guilty about it, felt like I haven't done the right training and all that sort of stuff. But something's better than nothing. My whole goal now at the minute is weight loss. The biggest performance advantage I'm going to get is by carrying less mass. I'm 2 kilos down so far. I've got many to go. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in a solid calorie deficit every day. I've got to be relentless with it. But it's going all right. I feel like I've got into a routine now. And providing I can keep exercising, it should continue to go in the right direction. So anyway, today, lunchtime run, just 45 minutes, just nice and steady, but there's a hill halfway around, so I feel like I get a bit of an interval in for that. So let's get up there. I always say this route has 1 hill on it. It's actually got 2, but the second one is somewhat smaller than the first, so I always disregard it until I come across it. So I'll talk to you in a few minutes. So the training catch up from the beginning part of this week. I wanted to start Monday positively, bounce back from a bad weekend, try and not let it turn into a bad week, bad fortnight, bad month and so on. Just sort of write it off and, deal with the future. The weather was awful on Monday, so I didn't get out for a run at lunchtime, but I felt like that was a controlled decision. I had more time Monday evening. I was going to do a longer bike ride. So 2 hours on the turbo, which took a lot of mental resilience, but I knew I needed to do it. Then I went for a swim as well, just 2k steady. I definitely felt low on energy in the swim, but it was okay just to get through a steady sort of poor boy plod. Tuesday, I did a steady run at lunch, and then the evening, an hour and a quarter on the turbo. I wanted to do a bit more, but I just felt like that was all I had, and don't want to put myself in a hole. My whole training ethos at the minute is never training hard enough that I can't train the next day, because that's what's going to be the biggest factor in me dropping weight. Sure, if I was trained hard, recover, I'd probably be fitter on paper, but certainly not power to weight, certainly not in terms of actual mass. So the more I can do frequently, the better. Wednesday, which is yesterday, around lunchtime, evening, 1 hour spin on the turbo. Felt quite tired last night actually. I was just 2 days on the trot running. Today's day 3, and tonight my plan is to either do a ride and then go swimming, or just go swimming, and that depends on lots of things. My eating's been good today so far. I've been quite low versus what I have on other days, so I know I've got some space to not have to ride tonight. But if I can ride tonight, it's a bonus. I'm just going to see how I feel. And also, I've been pretty absent from Liz, like on a Monday night, spending 2 hours on a turbo, quite antisocial, right? Can't keep doing that, so I also need to see what she's got planned tonight, and be present if needed. So my vague plan is to do between 1 hour and 2 hours of activity every day if I can, and that doesn't necessarily mean spiking the volume at weekends, because that will affect me in the early part of the week. For all intents and purposes now, every day is the same. Sure, I've got more capacity at the weekend time-wise, but I haven't always. What I'm panicking about is days when I can't fit any training in because of life. I feel like I've nailed now an eating and training routine when I can train, but let's say I was ill, or like next week I've got a day in the London office, so I'm not going to be able to train that day, and it makes me flat, makes me worry, because that's notoriously when I've fallen off the wagon. But I do need to get into those better habits all the time, because I'm not always going to be able to do, like, you know, an hour to 2 hours of training a day. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm focusing on, and I will keep you updated. But let's get this run finished first. This is what's difficult about running, is that easy running is still difficult, isn't it? Like, it's not as easy as riding a bike. So really, I'm trying to listen to the body and not go too hard in the run. My average heart rate for that run, I'll leave the stats on screen, it was 138 beats a minute. I think my top end zone 2 is 136, so I am averaging just into tempo. The reality of how that run breaks down is the first, well, there's a significant section where I'm running at sort of tempo, maybe in threshold heart rate, and then a long section where I'm like in zone 1, because it's going up and down a hill. So I'm getting a broad range of intensities, but still averaging like an easy-ish run. So I know it's not perfect, but it's just something I can manage. I like the route. I know exactly like where the mile splits are and how I feel at different points on the route and all of that. So I'm gonna stick to that same route for the time being, but I think a flatter route would be more advantageous. But there is a bit in my mind that thinks, well, when I do start training properly a bit more, all of those times I've ran up a hill or ran in tempo, like, surely that's going to stand me in better stead to pick up that intensity next year. So, and the events I've got planned, majority of them seem to have lots of hills in, so I look forward to that. But yeah, there's a little training catch up, how I'm working and training at the minute. My Strava link is down below. I share all my data in the hope that it might motivate you in some way. Maybe you're doing loads more than me, maybe you're doing loads less, but whatever, it's all relative, isn't it? So hope you're training well. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for, oh, who knows.